Thank you. SKYLAKAKIS.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I would first like to state that I believe that the Commission has stepped up its effort against fraud and corruption, especially when it refers to EU financial interest. But I believe that we are, at this moment, far from achieving any significant progress. And I will give you a small example. We are stepping up the effort on the customs sector, where EU financial interest is very, very strong. However, if you look at Transparency International opinion polls, where people are asked whether they have bribed any specific government institution, you find out that about 600,000 cases of small bribes to the customs sector, occur each year in EU. I repeat, because people don't get it in the first. 600,000 people, in fact 600,000 households, have reported that they have bribed someone in the customs sector in the EU in the 2010-2011 Transparency International polls. Maybe the polls are wrong. Maybe people are crazy and reporting that they are bribing while they are not. Maybe we are not really even realizing the extent of what is happening under us. Most probably, I believe it's a third case. And when I see that member states like France, or even smaller ones like Malta, report no irregularity as fraudulent in all their handling of EU money, I come to believe that the human nature has changed. And for some strange reason, we are now in a new human nature in some member states. However, in reality, what is going on is that we have protections that are like a wall, but they are like an unmanned wall protecting EU financial interests. And I will go into OLAF. OLAF is doing, in 2011, I see 178 new investigations. All of them, or 90% of them, according to its general director, come from information that was given to them. There are really no own initiative investigations in areas where we know that there is high corruption and big-time corruption. So OLAF might investigate a small case, which is real, and because nobody is talking to him about the big cases all over Europe, they do nothing. So as long as you keep the law of silence in your sector or in your fraud within the sector, as long as you pay enough all the participants, EU won't bother you. That's the reality of our anti-fraud policy. And I, again, commend the Commission because it's doing things, because the real responsibility for stopping fraud is in the member states where it doesn't happen. But we need to step up our fraud policies by orders of anti-fraud policies, by orders of magnitude, if we are going to be really efficient and effective in protecting EU financial interests, which is extremely important at this moment, because in the South, people hate those that are stealing money from the EU because they now feel that they are stealing them for themselves and not for the citizens. And in the north, people don't want to pay money in the EU because they think that it's not well treated. So we really need to step up our efforts and make people that are taking money from the EU really think twice before they do it. Because at this moment, they don't think even once. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Skylakakis. Next question by Mr. Schmidt. Please, the floor is yours.
To provide more information. Then, regarding issues were raised regarding corruption and also specific surveys on corruption. So, you know, I think that's we have to understand very clearly that most of actions on this issue have to be taken by the member states. At the level of the Commission, we adopted a communication how to deal with corruption last year, and actually for the first time we introduced also the reporting for member states. So that would provide, how to say, more objective information and would allow also to make comparisons of the situations in member states and sort of benchmarking of member states. And we believe that this will push member states for improvements in their systems, in their legislation, because nobody would like to see itself at the highest position on this particular issue. Regarding Olaf's investigations, and that most of them they are due to reports or from whistleblowers or other sources. Well, I agree that this is an issue, and I believe that with the OLAF reform, with the adoption of OLAF regulation, actually we will turn a bit more of activity of OLAF towards more own initiative actions in the area. I would like to see this as well, because of course when somebody reports that something is wrong in one or another member state or in one or another area, well, then OLAF has to react, and that's normal. But I think that better analysis of the situations, better use of the information, overall information coming into OLAF, and then initiation of the own initiative investigations should be prioritized for the future activities of OLAF. Then regarding issue of whistleblowers and decrease of their reports. Well, of course, it's not easy to explain why it happened, but just I have to say that the Commission will come with the initiative on whistleblowing. We will intend to adopt internal strategy on this by the end of the year, and I just can say that I believe that we have to create all the necessary conditions in order to ensure that whistleblowers they are protected fully from any subsequent actions against them, and I think that this will be also in the core of this internal strategy for whistleblowers.